Polka Dot sisters and our friends across the globe. It is Shannon Crotty, founder and CEO of Polka Dot Powerhouse, here with another amazing managing director interview. Today, we have the beautiful, brilliant, one and only Jennifer Davis. Hey, Jennifer, thank you so much for being with me today.
Hey, Shannon. Oh my goodness, it is always so great to have time with you and to see you.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so we've got a lot to get to. I want to talk about lots of things with you today. And again, no heavy lifting. It's all stuff that you know. But first off, tell people, in case I know lots about you, but maybe others don't, tell us more about who you are.
So, all right. So I currently reside in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I moved there about 7 years ago. I work for an organization called Vitalent. So it's a blood center. So I have been talking with people for 22 years now about the need for blood donation. I'm married. My husband and I just celebrated our 23rd wedding anniversary. I know he says we're no longer rookies anymore, is what he likes to tell me. So I have family that's around the country, but I really just I enjoy the opportunity to be able to meet people. That's really what like fills my cup, fills my soul, is finding those common threads because we all have them. And that is kind of what started my polka dot journey, was looking for that.
Okay, that's a great lead in. So tell us how you found Polka Dot first off.
Absolutely. So 2017, I lived in Denver, Colorado. So, 7 years ago. And Connie Kircher, actually, I met her and she says, there's this women's group that I think you'll like. Like it would be a great fit for you. You should come check it out. So after a couple months of trying to figure it out in my schedule, I went to a meeting. It was an evening meeting from work, went in and knew no one except Connie. And I was a little nervous, like, oh goodness, what's this going to be like?
Mhm.
And walked out of there like so energized, met so many, had phone numbers, let's go connect, let's get together. Barely slept that night. My husband wondered what was wrong with me because I was so excited about it. Next morning, got up, I was like, I need to be a part of this. It was that instantaneous. It was that feeling. You can go in and be strangers and walk out as friends. And I've had that with every experience, whether it's been in person, virtual, celebration, small group, one-on-one, all of it. There's just magic to it. And you have this inherent trust. A dot sister is not going to purposefully lead you astray. If you want an opinion or thoughts, they'll give it to you. If you just want support, they'll give that to you as well. And not only that, you get to do the same. My favorite question has always been, how can I support you? Not what can I do for you? What do you want? How can I support you? That is such a powerful statement that most people don't ask.
Right. We're not used to hearing it. And like a lot of people, when you ask that, they're so thrown, like, oh, I don't know. And you're like, well, when you figure that out, here's where I'm at, like, let me know. But it's more often that people are surprised to be asked that than not, because they don't hear that a lot.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah. So, okay, you became a member, instant magic, chemistry, whatever. And then what happened? You moved, right?
I moved. So I joined, I believe it was June of 17. I moved in September of 17. So I got that in-person love for a very short time. But I moved and I would hear from Polka Dots like, hey, just checking in on you. How are you? How's Pittsburgh? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure where the grocery store is. It's you move someplace and you have to reestablish everything.
Right.
Grocery store, gas station, favorite restaurant. How do I get somewhere? And if you've never been to Pittsburgh, it is not the easiest city to get around. It's hilly and there's nothing, it's not a grid. Denver, very much a grid. Pittsburgh, anything but a grid. But I would just hear from people like, how are you? How are things going? And so it just reminded me, okay, yes, I have these friends, these women in Colorado that I'd stay connected with. And then we all know 2020 took place and everything went online. And I hadn't really been to a meeting because I was busy. I just didn't know what I was doing. And then I went to a meeting and went, oh my goodness, I forgot. I forgot how much it was. And I went to an evening meeting on the West Coast. So it was from 8:30 to 10:30. So that same buzzy feeling after the first time, I'd have that once a month or twice a month. So again, wouldn't sleep well, but it was good energy. So exciting. Gives me helped me be grounded and so much. And that's what just reminded me. I was like, okay, there's a reason why I'm a part of this. And it's just super inspiring.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think so many people, myself included, because you know my story, but I can relate to that transplant, right? Like God, the universe, whatever you believe in, let's grow this person and we're going to do it through being a transplant. And that grows you a tremendous amount. Like it puts you in such a uncomfortable spot. Thank goodness that you had, like it wasn't right on top of you, but you had chapters at least in your area that you could go to. So for anybody who doesn't know, Jennifer became a managing director in 2021. So you were going to chapters and that reignited in-person magic. What made you want to start a chapter in Pittsburgh?
Well, I wanted something in my backyard. I wanted to be able to connect with women in the Pittsburgh area. I was finding them, but in different means, in different modes. I wanted to share what I love about Polka Dot. My vocabulary has changed over the year. When you hear words like authentic, I didn't really know what that meant. I was like, authentic, like, what is that? Words like giving someone space and grace, someone saying, how can I support you? All of those good words that grounded that it's okay to reach out for help. It's okay to give help. It's it's just okay to just come as you are. I didn't have to be a certain persona. Um, One thing I was told for many years is I'm very good at being a chameleon because I've moved a lot. And you do that because it's to protect yourself. I want
Right.
everyone to see exactly who I am. I don't have that with polka dot. I can come as me. I can, come with my hair tied up like I'm cleaning my house. It doesn't matter. No one cares.
Right.
It They are there for me as a person, not what I can do for them, what they can do for me. It's not that. It's that true friendship that you really can build. And the personal relationships have been outstanding.
I I love how you describe that. Yeah, like all the energy that we spend, and there's a lot, no disrespect to anything else, but there's a lot of places that kind of foster that feeling of, is my hair right? Is my car washed? Am I showing up the right way? Am I going to say the right things? Am I going to, am I going to be that chameleon, or am I going to be suitable for the situation? You get to a place like Polka Dot, and, I know that you've heard me say this, but it's that deep breath, it's feeling like, okay, and after that feeling, after you have that deep breath, that I'm not broken, I don't need to be fixed, these people are happy I'm on the earth, no matter what that looks like for me, on what, because we all have a day that's a dumpster fire, and we have a day that's this glorious sparkly disco ball, and we have days in between, and no matter what day I'm having, I'm accepted here, I am valued here. And it's kind of like a safe space, because it's a safe space for me to breathe in and out and to put all of the worries that we have some of the other places away.
Mhm. Absolutely. Yeah, it's so true. It's so hard to describe it too, because it really truly is that feeling that you get of belonging, that it's okay. It doesn't matter where you live, it doesn't matter what you do. Polka Dot welcomes everyone. You don't have to have a job.
Right.
You don't have to own a business. You is come as you are. And it's really that true support. And I think a lot of us lost that support along the way when we all had to, shelter at home and whatnot. I mean, that causes a lot of just self-talks, not great feelings. And so to be able to kind of push back out, kind of like a turtle poking out of their shell, and to be able to be accepted. And when you see that joy from someone when they feel accepted, it's so exciting. And the joy you feel yourself of, yep, this is where I belong. This is for me.
Absolutely. There's this new tagline that's being unofficially used a lot: the sisterhood I never knew I needed, right? Like we're all fine. We're fine. We're holding our heads above water, but how much above water? And for some people, most people, it's not until you get in a community like Polka Dot where you shouldn't be treading water, because here we have a lifesaver that can pull you above the water. We can't control what happens when you leave our area, but while you're with us, you don't need to be expending your energy in this way. We want you to be in your zone of genius, and you can more simply do that by just being and knowing that that is enough for us. I think that is enough for us, is that you are you. I posted something just recently. It said a list of reasons that I love you. Number one, you're you. And that was the end of the list.
Mhm.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely. That describes it all. I mean, you are you. We're all so unique and the world would be different if each of us was not in it, and we all bring something special to it. And it's very easy to forget that when
Yeah.
everything is going sideways. And Polka Dot allows you to go into that safe space if you need it, to say, all right, here's what's going on. I need some help. Raise your hand. And you can do that and know that no one's judging you. They're just there to support you. And sometimes you just need that place to just get it out of your head so that you can move on.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of stuff sits in our head, unfortunately.
Yeah. Too much in the itty bitty shitty community. That's a Nicole Lewis Keeber saying. So let me ask you this. What do you think? Probably a lot of things, but what do you think being a leader of this community has taught you about you?
Oh gosh, being a leader in Polka Dot, it has taught me a lot. It has spilled over into my job, actually. It's truly to lead with that compassion. And I don't have to have all the answers. Polka Dot, that's the sisterhood part. I mean, just because you say I'm the managing director, it really is your chapter. It's the personality of your chapter. That's not one person, that's everyone. And so having everyone included in things, sure, there is times that people cannot be a part of my decisions in my work life,
Mm.
but there's a lot of things people can be a part of. As a managing director, you're kind of there as that reminder of, hey, by the way, here's what's coming up. Let me make sure you're informed. Be there to answer questions or even give suggestions if they say, hey, I'm looking for someone to help me with XYZ. You can sometimes help be that conduit
Right?
to gain that information and that connection.
Right. And I love what you said earlier, that you kind of alluded to this, but it's about all the people in the chapter. So we have people leading to facilitate, right? But there's nothing that sends the message of sisterhood by focusing on one person. Like it doesn't feel like it's like that's not sisterhood, that's one person. And how every person in the chapter matters. Every person kind of adds something, a strength that someone else can't relate to, that sort of thing. I think it's important for members to see themselves, a reflection of themselves in our leadership as much as possible, and that there is leadership of more than that managing director. So again, that we're not sending a conflicting message of what sisterhood is. Sisterhood is never one person.
Correct, absolutely. And that's with our leadership in our chapters and even just looking at our legacy leaders as well. I mean, same thing is they are there to help, they inform us, but they're a part of our sisterhood. They're a member just like everyone else, and they're looking for the same things, and they want that same support, energy, collaboration, connection, all those things. I think of like the 10 polka dots at the top 10 reasons to be a part of Polka Dot Powerhouse, and they all resonate, every single one of them.
Right. Most of them are related to human needs, right? So it's just like a basic human needs. And you talked about earlier about COVID, but there was a lot of blessings, like, you got to look for the blessings too, but it also untrained us on looking for connections, because we got so, whether you were comfortable or uncomfortable, depending on if you were an introvert, extrovert, ambivert, you got real comfortable in connecting from a distance. In my opinion, that's not how humans are built. We need close connections. And so it's a matter of reminding people that is, it's okay that you're feeling that way, because that's a human need that you need. And we're here to help you find that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you never know who you're going to find that you could in your travels, or if you're going somewhere, that you could end up finding someone. I've been able to see polka dot sisters in my travels, and maybe even potentially this week as well.
Right.
In my travels, to when someone's coming in town to Pittsburgh, hey, I'm coming in town. I try everything I can to make sure to let everyone in the chapter know, but also to make a point to see them, because that's the beauty of polka dot. You are meeting women where they're at, and you get to have a shared experience.
Right. Just before even we started taping, you're traveling right now. And I'm like, oh, so and so lives there. And you're like, yeah, and so is here. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Like, and she's not traveling within her own state. Like she's traveling in it within a different area of the country. And it's amazing to have to know that you have an army of sisters virtually wherever you go. Like there's someone there that is excited that you're there and excited. I often tell people like, okay, when you go in the members group and you say you're coming, they're probably going to have a parade for you. So wear some kind of parade attire, that kind of thing. Like it's almost like someone on the first day of school that everybody wants to connect with that person, right? So it's really interesting to see for me in the members group to be a fly on the wall and watch people say they're headed somewhere and watch those members of that area like explode with excitement just because they know the importance of the person that's coming. It's a dot sister, and by default, we have this kind of unique connection that we believe in, the assumption of positive, that we lift each other up, that we embrace the person being completely themselves. It's just so exciting to see members jump on that train of excitement when someone's coming to town.
It is, absolutely. I know I'm traveling later this year. I haven't reached out, but what my husband and I will be in California in December. And I know it's Southern California and there's Dot Sisters there. So I will be reaching out closer too, because it's still a few months away to say,
Right,
hey, I'm coming, any chance I can connect with you. And if it doesn't happen, that's okay.
right.
But just to say I'm coming, it would be awesome to see you, whether it's for 30 minutes or an hour or, 15 minutes grabbing, something to drink at a coffee shop, whatever works. It's just that excitement. And really, it's all about getting a hug from someone. That's what it comes down to.
That human connection that we all need, right? We all need it on a pretty steady basis. So it's great to get it, where you can. Let me ask you this. I'm curious what your thoughts are. There's no wrong answer here. I'm just curious. Do you think do you think being a leader is something like certain people are born with, or do you think anybody has the capacity to be a great leader?
I think anyone has the capacity to be a great leader. Sure, are some people maybe born with it? Sure, absolutely. But you can also learn to be a leader, and you don't have to have a title to be a leader either. There are leaders among us in so many ways. You could lead based on your experience. You could lead in a very specific subject. You could lead in, something that you like to do. I mean, all of us have that leading capability. And I know there's a meme or something out there that just talks about that, things that you might be upset with, that's someone's goal. Or
Right.
someone that, you may say, oh, I don't like this anymore. And that is what someone's hoping for. I don't remember the exact thing, but it's
Yeah,
that theme of you just never know that someone's probably watching and you have no idea that they're like, wow, I really want to aspire to this. I had someone last week when I was it's something for work, and they said, you should be a mentor. And I'm like, why would I do that? And they said, you are someone who helps mentor me. And I was like, I was not expecting that. It was very surprising. So people see what you're doing, and there's things that you emulate and that you project that you don't even realize that is desirable and that people want to be a part of it.
absolutely. You just never know because a lot of people aren't going to tell you like this is like hard to say even, but sometimes you only hear when you're doing a bad job, not a good job. And some people think they don't, oh, they're making an impact on me, but they hear that from lots of people. They don't need to hear that from me. So you really never know who you're making an impact on in a positive way And then, you know, I know you believe this too, because I know I've talked to you about this, but you're not only impacting that person, but every single person they ever come in contact with is getting that dust on them too, because of the impact that you've had. Like, it's just really mind blowing when you think about how far that ripple of impact goes.
It is. It's kind of like the multiplier effect. It's like you take that stone or that rock and you like cast it in a lake and it has those little rings that go out.
Right.
Like that's what it can be like, is that one little act that you may think is not very monumental, but it goes out there and it just ripples out and it touches people that you will never know, that you'll never meet, but you've made an impact on their life.
Yeah. Okay, final question before we talk about how people can find you, but final question is, what do you think the most misunderstood or lack of understanding about polka dot? What do you think is the thing that people don't quite understand that you would like to better explain to them?
So, wow, I could do a couple of things, but I think the main one is, what's this polka dot powerhouse? Do I have to wear polka dots? Do I, what exactly does this mean? And what do you mean sisterhood? Like, oh, sisterhood. I have sisters. They're terrible. I do not have sisters, by the way. But some people love their sisters or dislike, or they fought with their sisters or whatnot, but they're like, oh, sisterhood. Is that like
Yeah.
being in a sorority? Is that like being in something else that maybe they've had poor experience with being among women? Because uh, sometimes women aren't nice to each other, and it's could be on we were taught that way, could be an environment we were in. It's not like that at all. It's not competition,
Right.
and we're not competing with other organizations. We're not networking. It's not networking. It's not, here's my business card, come do business with me. Sure, business could happen. It really truly is finding those deep relationships that you have no idea. It will make your heart sing. The people you will meet, and that you get to meet them from all over the world. I mean, I've been able to meet women in Canada, the UK, Denmark, Australia. There's women everywhere, and they're all looking for the same thing, that just to be connected, to be seen, to be heard, and to be able to support others by being supported. That really is what it's about. And you just have to kind of come experience to get it.
Right.
We can talk about it, but the experience by far 1,000 times better.
I agree. I agree. Well, thank you so much. I've loved this time. Can you tell people how they can best find you if they are like, hey, I need to get to know, I feel like a connection there. I need to get to know her better. How can they find you?
Absolutely. So there's several ways to find me. I do joke sometimes people could send me a carrier pigeon, but those are sometimes challenging. So obviously we have the Polka Dot Powerhouse website. If you're a member, you can find me there. If you're not a member, you should join and then you can find me there. But we do have meetings in the Pittsburgh chapter. We also have a Facebook page for our chapter. So it's Polka Dot Powerhouse Pittsburgh chapter. If you send a message, I or someone else might be one of the people that respond to you. You can also reach me. I'm happy to share my phone number. So it's my cell phone. You can call and text me. Please realize I live in the Eastern time zone. So if you're in the West, I'm a little further ahead of you. So my telephone number, it's 720-244-8328. Yes, I know it's a Denver area code. I used to live there. I've had the phone number too long. I'm not getting rid of it. But, always happy to talk about what Polka Dot is. Would love to have you come join us or go join another chapter meeting. If you're not sure of the worldwide, there's so many different chapters and there's new ones happening all the time. I know there's one that just launched. We have another one that's coming up, and I'm sure there's others that are on the horizon, but there's just come connect with us. I cannot encourage that anymore. Just connect with us. It will be worth your time.
Awesome. I love it. Jennifer, thank you so much for your time today. You are a gift, and I think that you know that I absolutely adore you. So thank you so, so much.
Shannon, thank you so much. I look forward to the next time I see you in person, but I know I will be seeing you before then, whether it's on, a meeting or some other event that's coming up.
Absolutely. Okay, we will be back with an amazing managing director interview soon. Until then, find joy and seek sisterhood. Thank you so much. Bye.